Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-July 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my gods and spirit team. What do we have for the Cappies? In early July, moving on into the mid portion of the month, we are in Cancer season. See what energies, messages, insights we can get for you. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies. Please, what do we got going on as we keep moving on through this month? Beautiful time of year. Okay, yeah, I mean, a lot of you could just be doing your thing, doing your own thing, laying low. Now, obviously, not every Capricorn's laying low, but to me, it's kind of like I'm in my own lane. This is also a very beautiful card as well. It's the vibe of someone like chilling back, laying low. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So if we look at the image here, we see this lovely lady. She is walking around or swimming around in this pond, and she's surrounded by all these different birds, these geese. And to me, I always feel like she's blending in, or at least trying to lay low and blend in with the crowd in one way or another. Now, if you're having issues with a particular person, they might be in that mode, right? They might not want to ruffle your feathers. They might not want to upset you. Some of you, again, might just be doing your own thing, focused on you, focused on staying in your lane. That's a big energy with this card. Another message we could tie in here, this is a card of aesthetics and beauty. I always think that it's really gorgeous. So for some Cappies out there, maybe you're doing something with your look. Maybe you're updating your wardrobe. Maybe you're doing something with your hair. How you present yourself to the world could be very important when this card is here as well. So take that for what it's worth. We're just going to lay it down right here. And again, to me, it's just someone staying in their lane, doing what they do. So that's never a bad thing. Let's just put her down over there. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. So let's shuffle it up for you one time, Cappy. What's going on? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Sudden Action Incoming. And I will say, like, for the past few weeks, there's been a very malleable type of energy around the Capricorn collective where something might be building up to make a really big shift. And that's precisely what I was picking up last week. Either someone making a big move out of nowhere or you building up to do something big. So we're going to see what energy shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take it how it hits for you, right? Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone at your link too. Let's get 3 cards here for my Cappy friends. What is going on? And even that energy that's been lingering for a couple weeks, it could still linger for a while, right? Sometimes these readings do go past the 1 week date mark, right? So let's get 3 quick. Okay, 4 of Cups, lots of thinking. Someone's in their head about something. I always say that when the 4 of Cups is here, but we'll talk about it. I don't want to get too far into it yet because I want to see what surrounds it. But you see that person there sitting underneath the tree. There's some really good aspects to that card. There's also some things that could be a challenge, as with all of them. Thank you. 8 of Swords, so even more of a mental-based type of energy, which we shall indeed talk about. Let's get 1 more. Then we'll really piece it together. What's happening for my Cappies? Okay, 2 of Cups. So personal connections, relationships, doesn't always have to be romantic. There could be one of importance here. Friend, family, or otherwise. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, you know me, I always like to look at the elements and how they play off each other. We have 2 water energies here, which is the realm of emotion and feeling. It's very internal. In the center, we have air, which is communication, but the mind. And even these two up front, they're very thought-driven types of energies. So there is like a lot of thinking going on here, especially in the top part, but there's a lot of internal intensity as well. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out, whether this is all one person's energy or multiple people. That's for you to decide. But position number one, let's go through each one and really start to build this out. We have the Four of Cups. Now the image here, you see this lovely lady chilling underneath the tree. The universe is offering something, so this could sometimes be similar to an ace where like the universe is trying to give you something, trying to show you something, trying to show you a path. But in its best form, it could be just very imaginative, or someone taking a rest, taking a break. I know we saw that energy very early on of someone just like being in their own mode. I mean, this card is very singular in that way as well. But when I see the Four of Cups, the challenges that come along with this could be overthinking. This could be someone that is daydreaming a little too much. Now, I do know Capricorns are a very pragmatic type of sign. You see things clearly, see things logically. But when this is here, you might just be a little watery, if that makes sense, where you're just daydreaming, could even be fantasizing when this card is here. Now, this could be someone thinking about you, so someone might have you on the mind. You might have a particular individual on your mind here. But I think it's very important whenever the Four of Cups shows up that you're watching out for what the universe is opening up for you, the opportunities, the different paths, the things that could come to fruition. I also give this card little bits of undertones of manifesting, like someone visualizing. So we're going that whole route already. Moving to position number two, we have the Eight of Swords. Once again, a very thought-based mental type of energy. Now, the positive with the Eight of Swords. This is mainly seen as a challenge, but the thing I like about the Eight of Swords is as fast as it comes in, that's as fast as it goes. Generally, this is a card of someone being high-strung, anxious, even nervous when this is here. And you see that person, they're surrounded by the swords, they're blindfolded. So it's like, all right, well, what's coming next, or what's going to happen next? Or it's just someone really in their mind about something, but it passes quickly. So to me, it's kind of like a quick episode. Now, when we get to the harsher aspects of the Eight of Swords, it could be feelings of being cornered, being trapped, being in a situation where there's not much you could really do about it, where it's like, okay, well, what can I really do to switch this or change it? So we'll see how it all plays out. In its positive sense, though, like this could be very liberating, which is nice. So hopefully if something's been bothering you, been bugging you, it does resolve when this card is here. And again, the clarifiers will really tell us the whole tale about whether these are positives or whether these are some hurdles or situations that you might have to overcome. Now, onto the back end, we have a very intriguing card. We have the Two of Cups. Now, all twos in tarot could represent decisions, choices, paths, being at a crossroads in life. They represent partnerships as well, particularly the Two of Cups. Now, this could represent a very important individual in your life, whether it is friends, family, or otherwise, even romantic. Soul tie type of energy where there's someone that was meant to be in your life for a reason or is in your life for a reason. This is a very strong bond, okay, whether it's spoken or unspoken. That's kind of the vibe I always pick up with this card. There's just a nice even exchange of energy. So when we clarify this, it could just tell us how someone you're connected to could be feeling, what they're thinking, or we could be seeing how relationships could be evolving in this time with this card. Now, when we look at the challenging aspects of the Two of Cups, if it's flipped up in reverse, you already know this card could represent disharmony, not really seeing eye to eye with somebody, or possible problems and situations interpersonally. So I want to dive deeper on all this. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my cappies, please. What's happening, my guys? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Four of Cups. Why is that Four of Cups here? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it right in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Four of Cups time. What's happening here? Why is the Four of Cups in the mix? What's on someone's mind? Strength in reverse. Okay. Very tempting type of energy here. This is somebody they're really letting their mind get the better of them, or there's just a thought a thought process or a thought in general that they can't help it. They can't help but have this thought on their mind. They can't help but have a certain individual on their mind. And I don't feel like it's a dwelling on something. To me, it's more of like an intrusive thought. Now, I don't mean to paint it in a super rough type of way. Um, when we have the strength card, it's a Leo energy. So some of you might be connected to a Leo. And in the upright, this is more about one's internal strength, right? The strength of character, strength of determination. And when it shows up in reverse, it's something that you can't help, right? Like it's something that you can't help but do. So in its easiest form, maybe some of you are just going through a time right now where you're feeling a little discontent. You might have a couple days where you're a little grumpy, but there might be a particular situation or individual that is like really on your mind and you can't help it. It's like, I don't want to think about this, but it just keeps coming up. Like I can't get this out of my head. And that could be someone thinking about you as well. Okay. Now it doesn't always have to just be interpersonal, but the main thing I'm picking up here is just someone that can't help but have this situation or person on their mind. So we're going to keep moving forward. Okay. I also feel like there's another important message here of not psyching yourself out of new opportunities coming your way, like with the Four of Cups and Strength in reverse. Don't let the past dictate the future. I know there might be some people out there that need to hear that. Like, don't let past situations or past failures dictate the future and where you're headed. So let's go in on that Eight of Swords. Let's see why the Eight of Swords is here for my Cappies. Quick, super, super quick. King of Swords, again, can't help but think it. Now, I will say this, and I feel like I might have seen this for you like a couple weeks ago. This could be someone that you're connected to that is extremely anxious, nervous, on edge here. It's like very much overthinking something. Now, the King of Swords is the ruler of the sword suit. And remember, when it comes to swords, it's like, okay, it's the thought process, but it's also communication. So when we see him in reverse, it's like, I can't control. There's something going on in my mind where I can't control it, where it's uncontrollable. Okay, so whether this is a double down of the energy on one person or two people mirroring each other, that could be the case. Now, the King of Swords could just be an air sign that you're connected to. And if that's not it, this could be someone that really wants to have a conversation or talk to you. Okay, and we could see how that'll evolve on the back end, because it's like, all right, well, there's two energies that are really thinking about it, and then we have the Two of Cups on the back end. So it might all coalesce together into some form of conversation or talk, because with the Eight of Swords, King of Swords in reverse, it's like there's something I really need to say, or there's something I really want to say. So we'll see. There could be a talk of importance coming up. We'll see when we get to that Two of Cups. But again, I feel like this is a very simple, straightforward type of message. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. Let's keep it moving to the Two of Cups. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. The reading is just coming through super straightforward. And once again, there's just a whole bunch of like thoughts that this person can't help it. Right? So let's see what the Two of Cups has for us. Why is the Two of Cups here? Thank you. Okay. So we have the Five of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this could be someone that feels like they owe an apology, or you might feel like someone owes you an apology here when I see that energy mixed up. And it's pretty simple to take a look at when you understand what the cards really mean, because intuitively it's very simple. I do feel for a lot of you, whatever things you might be going through, communication could be at the core. All right. Now, if you're not having any issues interpersonally, like this could all just be about keeping your mind right, keeping yourself focused and motivated in general in this time. But if you are going through anything interpersonal, or there are people around you that are clashing, I feel like communication is the root. The communication is absolutely the root. Now, Five of Wands, you don't have to be an expert in tarot to understand what this card means. You see five people, they're going to battle, they're beating each other down with sticks. So when we see it in reverse underneath a card like the Two of Cups, it's like, all right, can we smooth this over? This could be someone that feels like they owe an apology, or they at least want to make something right. So when I was talking about a talk of importance or an important talk, this could absolutely be it here on the back end, where it's like someone trying to smooth something over. Now, if you're not having issues or problems with somebody, the Five of Wands in reverse underneath the Two of Cups could just represent an individual in your life where the energy is just so easy flowing, easy going, where everything just comes naturally. And it's like, all right, well, we're on the same page here. We're on the same vibration. So it just really depends on your situation, but there can be a talk of importance regardless, whether you're having issues with a person or not. And I know I saw in the beginning somebody just like doing their own thing, laying low, but a big message I was talking about in the very beginning, someone not wanting to upset you or not wanting to ruffle your feathers. So that could be a real thing, the way this is all flowing out together. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Intriguing how this all lined up. So I do feel for a lot of Capricorns, interpersonal relationships are very important in this time. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Four of Cups with the Strength card in reverse. And I was already telling you, to me, this was a lot of thoughts that someone can't help but have, whether it's like a situation or even a person. It's like, I can't get this off my mind. It's there. And whether they want to or not, like, it's something that's on their mind in a very big way. I also said there was a huge thing here, or energy, of you needing to stay focused in this time, not to psych yourself out. Don't let the past dictate the future. Moving into the center, we have the Eight of Swords with the King of Swords in reverse. Once again, this one's a little more high strung here. This one on the front's a little more watery. This one is a little more anxious, nervous. And again, the thoughts that this person can't help but have. Another thing, I felt like someone might want to have a talk or a conversation of importance, and we see that actually come to fruition when we get to the back end here. Two of Cups with the Five of Wands in reverse. Yeah, communication could be the key in this time. Even if you're not having troubles, even if people around you are not having troubles, just like clear communication. It doesn't feel too rough, but it does feel important with that. So for a portion of you, there might be somebody that wants to smooth something over. There could be someone that may have an apology, but the main thing I'm feeling here is an important talk and someone wanting to have it, or at the very least needing to have it. So please take a screenshot of that, Capricorn. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Intriguing reading here. So what do we got for the Cappies, my guys? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, right? They could be good too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going here. What do we got for the Cappies? What is in the shadows? Ace of Swords. So even the root of this is communication. Now, the one thing I will say about the Ace of Swords is it's called the Sword of Truth. Seeing things clearly, seeing things honestly. And I know we've had so much thinking going on within the spread itself. This is one of the more thought-based aces in the whole entire deck. Now, the fact that it's a shadow card could represent somebody holding back what's really on their mind, holding back what they're really thinking. Now, I'm not going to say that whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, but if communication's the key and the mindset is the key in this time, this makes total sense that we're seeing the Ace of Swords in the shadows. I will say this, when it comes to conversing or even communicating with people, an open, honest dialogue, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that here. The only thing you might want to watch out for is someone being too aggressive or too mean, because this sword can cut deep. So that is something to watch out for in this time, whether it's you accidentally being sharper with your words than you want to be, or someone else accidentally hurting some feelings. This could be a harsh communication as well. So watch out for that. And if you're digging for the truth of something, you will find it with that card. That's another thing. But yeah, Cappy, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The link is down below. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of another one of my favorite decks, the Wizard's Tarot. Absolutely beautiful and works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, since I have the travel bug lately, let me know down in the comments what is the most beautiful place you visited in person. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.